with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. The tax collectors and the sinners were all seeking the company of Jesus to hear what he had to say. And the Pharisees and the scribes complained. "This man," they said, "welcomes sinners and eats with them." So he spoke this parable to them. "What man among you with 100 sheep, losing one, would not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the missing one till he found it? And when he found it, would he not joyfully take it on his shoulders? And then when he got home, call together his friends and neighbors. 'Rejoice with me,' he would say, 'I have found my sheep that was lost.' In the same way, I tell you, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one repentant sinner than over 99 virtuous men who have no need of repentance. Or again, what woman with 10 drachmas would not, if she lost one, light a lamp and sweep out the house and search thoroughly till she found it? And then, when she had found it, call together her friends and neighbors. 'Rejoice with me,' she would say, 'I have found the drachma I lost.' In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing among the angels of God over one repentant sinner." The Gospel of the Lord. Sometimes we would think that Jesus repeated himself so often on the same things. And you might say the same to me, because I say nothing of my own, but that of Jesus prompts us to do and to say. Once again, he spoke with parables. He gave examples with stories that reached the people. In his time, having a meal together was not only a sign of friendship, as we often, even now today, we do when we invite people for dinner at home. But eating together in his time meant that you are leveling the dignity and the status of all the participants on the table. So much so that at that time they had only one plate in the middle, a few glasses that everyone will share. And everyone would touch from the food with his hands and eat from the same plate and drink from the same cup. This was the time of Jesus. And so no wonder that the Pharisees were scandalized to see Jesus surrounded by sinners, those whom they considered to be sinners, those who are publicly known as do not frequent the synagogue or who are public sinners. And so they complained in their hearts that Jesus was eating with these people. And so once again, the upton time, Jesus spoke with a parable. Don't you see, don't you know of that good shepherd that has lost one sheep, and he leaves the 99 to go and search for the one sheep he has lost? I wouldn't have done the same thing. I would say, well, I have 99. Why should I leave these and risk to leave also, or to miss also these 99 or any more of them? I would say, no, that has left, okay, now I take good care of the 99. This is our human logic mind that speaks like that. But God the Father does not have this same logic that we have. No, we say, one lost soul. No, I do everything even risking the 99, but I do everything to bring back that lost sheep. This is the Father who loves, irrespective of who we are, what we have done, and what we are doing right now, even now. Sometimes this is hard for us to believe. How is it possible that God forgives us? I encounter so many people who come with guilt feelings, saying, do you think that God has forgiven me of what I've done? And that's a sin in itself, that you doubt the love of God. That's a sin in itself, that you doubt the love of God. We can never doubt the love, the forgiveness of our Father. Whatever we have done in our life, even prisoners, criminals who have come out right of prison, comes very often. Sometimes even crying. Do you think, and this is the question I put, do you think that God has forgiven me for what he has done? Maybe people outside do not forgive you, but definitely God has forgiven you. And this is what we need to understand today, that Jesus is insisting with two parables. And then there is even a third one of the prodigal son, that son who asked for the money, his inheritance, so that he can go and enjoy himself and his life. But one moment he realized the mistake he has done, went back to his father and asked forgiveness. The father not even allowed him to ask for forgiveness, to listen even, to say even one word of pardon to his father, because he went out of his house to embrace him and bring him back home. This is the Father of God. This is the. And then another story of that woman who has lost one of his drachmas. The houses in the time of Jesus were not like our houses, or marbles, or easy to clean, or if you lose anything, it's very easy for you to find. No, they were all dust and dirt, and no marble or no tiles. And yet this woman left everything so that she can find her drachma, her treasure. This is the example that the Word of God today is reminding us. And so often, every Sunday, we speak of this love of God for each one of us. And we need to be convinced and not sin against this doubt of our faith in the love of God for each one of us. Because this is fundamental for our discipleship, it's fundamental for our way of living, it's fundamental also to be at peace with yourself. Because even if you are surrounded by people who do not forgive you for what you do or for what you have done in your life, you are sure that there is God who loves you, there is God who has forgiven you, and you are sure that there is always a chance of starting again and living a new life. Let's say this short prayer that we have on the screen. Lord, you seek out the lost and forgotten among us. Let me do the same with the people that surround me.